The year 1951 witnessed the first general election to the Indian Parliament, where some 2.8 million eligible voters refused to coordinate. Today the picture is different. With the increased population, the number of women voters has also increased. From the elections of 90s, the gender gap between male and female voters has narrowed down. This time, the women voters are going to play an important role in the upcoming West Bengal Assembly elections. It records 49% in the state. According to the official list published by the Election Commission of India this January, the gender ratio among voters has improved. Among 7.32 crore electorate, the number of male 3.73 crore and women 3.59 crore. Hence, caste, creed, religion, illegal migration, whatever the political parties raise issues, the women voters of West Bengal are going to play a very important role in this election. It seems that ruling Trinamool Congress appears to be aware of the fact, and the branding of their election speech, posters, banners are targeted to the women. In fact, during 2019 general election, TMC was the only party which provided the tickets to its women candidates for more than 41% seats. TMC's appeal to its women electorate is not just only limited to political campaign, but the incumbent TMC-ruled government also introduced some policies and government schemes targeted to women and girls. Konyashree is one of the talked about among them, which was launched in 2013 and targeted to the girls between 13 to 18 years old, which provides a cash handout to the girls between 13 to 18. It prevents the child marriage and was launched in 2013 by the Mamata government. This scheme also won UN Public Service Award in 2017 at The Hague. Another scheme, Rupashree, was launched by Mamata government in 2018. This also provides a one-time cash handouts to the economically stressed families of rupees 25,000 for their daughter's marriage. This also deter the child marriage. Shastha Shati is the newest health insurance scheme which provides the health insurance card to the household matriarch. The Women and Child Development Minister of the state, Dr. Shoshi Paja, talks about these policies to the Millennium Post.
You know, women empowerment has always been a priority in West Bengal, and under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee, who happens to be the 8th and also one of the only chief ministers, Mahila chief ministers in West Bengal, and of course in the present situation in all over India, if you look at the states, she's the only woman chief minister. Now under her leadership, women empowerment has been a topmost priority. Now this is very evident because when in 2011 she came to power and this Mamati Manush Sarkar was at the helm of affairs, the first thing in 2012 which she did was to introduce a state policy for empowerment of women. So this, it's just not a policy, but the implementation of the policy. So when you take the social considerations of women empowerment or the political considerations, or even for that matter economic upliftment, this policy has said it all. Now this has been implemented because suppose we talk about political empowerment, and women have been encouraged, and this state introduced 50% reservation in panchayats, so that is the 3-tier panchayat. So after the introduction of the 50% reservation, we had say 2013 panchayat elections and also 2018 panchayat elections. Vis-a-vis, following these elections, we have seen, cutting across all political lines, there were women who were elected to power. There were women who in this I would say seats of power were dictating and formulating policies for people by and large in society, and of course with again key priority being women. So a woman chief minister gave the idea, the reservation, and following which you had many women in politics. Now, alongside being the chief minister, she also, as the administrator, formed certain policies. So these policies are like schemes, very well-known schemes, like we have Kanyasri scheme, and to put it very short, it is for the 13 to 18-year-old girl child, and that is K1, and from 18 to 19 again K2. So Kanyasri comes in two forms. You have Kanyasri 1 and Kanyasri 2. There is a scholarship, there is an economic incentive, but the main criteria of the scheme was that the child should be unmarried and the child should be in school, madrasa or college, should be with a educational institution. So that way we saw that school enrollment, school retention, it has had an impact on that because these indices have been high. And also the very idea to curb child marriage or marriage before the right age, this Kanyasri has also helped in that direction. They were empowered, for which Kanyasri also received the recognition from the United Nations. So this actually the scheme now reaches out to almost 69 lakh beneficiaries. So these 69 lakh girls who get K1 or K2, that is between the age group of 13 to 19, and almost the state giving it so much priority has till date, because the scheme came into implementation in 2013. So now, as of almost but say 9,400 crores have been spent on implementation of the scheme. Now the other scheme which Madam Chief Minister has done, and that was the Rupasri, which is the marriage assistance scheme. Now this was introduced in 2018, February, March, and there were certain criteria to it, but it was also an easy, accessible scheme, I would say. The basic idea when you look at a marriage assistance scheme was, of course, that you encourage that the age should be appropriate for marriage, and of course this was for only the first marriage, but every daughter in the family could get the assistance. It is a financial assistance which goes as a DBT, a direct benefit transfer to their accounts. So it is very transparent, very clear, and she is the beneficiary. In our society, sometimes parents do tend to have the desire to spend in their daughters' weddings, and sometimes they take resort to loans, and that sometimes can be very dangerous for them. So to avoid such loans, etc., there is a scheme, a proper scheme, which is the marriage assistance scheme of 25,000 rupees for the marriage of the daughter, the first marriage of the daughter. So this also has reached out to, I would say, almost 9 lakhs, 8 lakhs, I would say, to be more correct, but 8 lakhs women who had applied for it. Now, after this, we can say that, social parameters like neonatal mortality rate or maternal mortality rate have decreased in West Bengal. Now, this is vis-a-vis the healthcare which has taken, it has been made free to everybody. Institutionalization of deliveries, that is, deliveries will take place in a proper institution, a hospital, a government hospital, so a medical care facility. This has, this awareness building has been very important, and the more we institutionalize the delivery, the safer the deliveries are, and that's why MMR has gone down, that is the maternal deaths during delivery has gone down. Besides that, often discussed all over the country, women's safety. It is very important, and again prioritized by Chief Minister, because she started off that any kind of atrocities on women should be addressed very quickly. So there were these fast track courts for quick, speedy justice. So these have been formed in our state, and in fact there were none before. And also women police stations. During her tenure, almost there is a target of say 75 women police stations. Now operational are 48, say 8 in Kolkata Police, under the jurisdiction of Kolkata Police, and about 40 in the districts. So these are also police stations run by women, and also cater to the various complaints of, say, any kind of sexual or non-sexual abuse, violence against women. So once you prioritize it, and once the woman feels more free to come ahead with a complaint, we saw that this again had built a confidence in them, and also the very fact that cases being booked, conviction rates being high, and punishment to the offenders, these have been happening, and I think there is a tremendous change in West Bengal, because NCRP data in 2019 also said Calcutta was the safest city. NCRP data also kind of compared Kolkata, not only Kolkata, West Bengal and other states. And we look at crimes against women. In 2019, in Uttar Pradesh, there were almost, say, 59,000 odd cases. Rajasthan recorded, say, 41,000 more. Maharashtra had almost 37,000 or plus. And West Bengal was much less than that. Now, other states, especially we would say politically BJP-run states, showed an increased percentage of crimes against women. One of the schemes is also Shastra Sathi, which is a health insurance scheme, again started by Honorable Chief Minister in our state in 2016. And the best thing about it is that the health insurance card is given or issued in the name of the eldest woman member of the family. So it gives recognition to her, and rest of the members fall in place. In fact, the lady member, she can even include names of her parents and names of her in-laws in the same Shastra Sathi card. So it is her a tremendous responsibility which the woman takes, and she being recognized, and she feels assured, reassured that not only her in-laws but her parents will also be looked after by this medical scheme. I think you have details about the 5 lakh annual insurance scheme, which is which is allotted. This money is allotted, and any kind of health problems that the family members faces, the health is free for all in all government setup. But there are many such hospitals which are enlisted with the scheme, which are private nursing homes where you can undergo the treatment and the government bears the expense of that treatment. So that is Shastra Shati.
TMC candidate list of this assembly elections include 50 women candidates from leading actors of either television industry or film industry to singers, writers, doctors, etc. Even in earlier leading actors like Munmun Sen, Nusrat Jahan, Mimi Chakraborty, Shatabdi Roy, Debashree Roy, they won elections with a huge margin from TMC ticket. On the International Women's Day, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's foot march in the heart of the city may assume special significance ahead of the assembly elections. The roadshow was primarily led by women party workers, with many of the prominent faces being actors Kaushani Mukherjee, Shantika Banerjee, Shayani Ghosh, and a slew of celebrities who recently joined TMC. The foot march proceeded from College Street, with Banerjee herself in the forefront over the women's safety. On the other hand, BJP top brass feels that Mamata Banerjee is losing her popularity among women voters, and it must engage more women to its organization. The Saffron Party has identified 23 organizational activities, from Prabhat Ferry to foot march to cycle rally by its Mahila Morcha leaders to every booth level. Even the party high command has suggested of inclusion at least 4 women candidates to its booth and mandal committees. After the recent victory in Bihar elections, the Bharatiya Janata Party has renewed its focus to women voters, as they believe the women voters have actually swung the election result to NDA's favor.
Almost 49.5, which is almost 50%, are women voters who are supposedly the silent voters, which we also witnessed in Bihar. That this so-called silent voters, they silently came to the polling booth and they silently voted in favor of BJP and Narendra Modi. So in Bengal also, we are expecting the same. In fact, I would tell you a small story which I witnessed ahead of 2011. I used to see the women folks, they used to come out and when Mamata Banerjee did her election campaign, that in 2011's Poriborton. But in 2021, right after a decade, I'm seeing witnessing the same thing or even more. During Narendra Modi ji's brigade rally, which was held just a couple of days back, ladies who were 80, in 90s, they walked down, smiles on their faces. The only reason they came just to have a glance of Narendra Modi ji, and perhaps they wanted to tell them that yes, we want Poriborton, the Ashol Poriborton. So I feel that the women voters, and not only that, I mean, it is very rightly so, almost 8.9 million women in West Bengal, they have received the Ujjwala gas connection. Many have received houses under PMAY. Under Swachh Bharat mission, they have received toilets. There are several ways which Narendra Modi ji is standing beside the women of Bengal, and which is the reason probably they will silently again do a Bihar repeat, go to the polling booth, and this time vote for Modi ji, vote for development, because now they know that Mamata Banerjee has only deceived them.
BJP has already deployed its women leaders, Lokar Chatterjee, Bharti Ghosh, Debashree Chaudhary, Agnimitra Paul, for women voters mobilization in the poll-bound West Bengal. Like the Trinamool Congress, many female celebrities also have joined BJP in the last couple of months. From leading Bengali stars, Payal Sarkar, Shravanti Chatterjee, Tanushri Chakraborty, to social activists and other prominent personalities from different sectors.
We are seeing a lot of celebrities joining the Bharatiya Janata Party, and all of them are welcome. Tanushri, then there was Payal, Shravanti, Yash, just to name a few. And there have been a lot of other celebrities, so-called silver screen actors, who have joined the party earlier. They are in fact working for the party just as a BJP worker like me or like you. I mean, it is just they are working on the grounds. They have been arrested. They are participating in rallies. They are participating in protest marches. I am sure you have seen the lady from Shaltora. She is a wife of a daily waged mason. Even she gets a ticket to contest, and even celebrities, why not? They have their celebrity value, and they have pledged to work for the development of the state. Definitely we are, Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't really discriminate between celebrities or silver screen stars or the ordinary people. All of them are stars to us, and so everybody is a star who is contesting in this election.
But the number of seats the party has given to its women candidate for the upcoming West Bengal Assembly elections is quite disappointing. So far, party has declared its candidate list for 123 assembly seats till the fourth phase, and only 14 are women among them. Not only in West Bengal but Kerala, BJP has given only 12 seats among 112 to women candidates, and in Tamil Nadu, where the number of women electorate is more than 50%, the Saffron Party named only 3 women candidates among declared 17 so far. The Saffron Party is putting all efforts to make inroad in the women's segment through Ujjwala scheme and other women-centric schemes by the Modi government. However, the data and records shows a different picture. In India now, it's having only 1 woman chief minister and 5 women union ministers. India has the worst gender representation in the world ranking. According to the Inter-Parliamentary Union data, India ranks 142 out of 189. There are only 12.5% women in the ministerial post. While the BJP-led NDA government claimed of empowering more women, the opposition held the Modi government for the current situation. To watch more videos, subscribe our channel, like the video, and do not forget to share. Thank you.